Hey everyone, welcome back to A Moment with Monica. It's my first official video. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my testimony, the testimony about my education. So, without further ado, let's get into it. I graduated high school in 2015 and I ended up graduating with my associates in arts in 2016. So I was taking about 5 or 6 classes a semester in order to graduate very quickly with my associates in arts. I had a plan, I had it written out. I was like, okay, by 25 or 26, I have to have this doctorate degree, okay? Like, I'm going somewhere in life. And so it was really important to me that I planned everything out. And so I began my journey towards my bachelor's degree in 2017. So I got admitted into the program of exceptional student education. And one of the requirements was to pass the general knowledge test. The general knowledge test is a test to certify teachers in the state of Florida in the subjects essay portion, math, reading, and writing. And so in order to get into the program, you had to pass one section. I actually ended up passing the essay and the reading portion. And by 30 credits, you would have to pass all sections. So in between that time, I was taking about 4 classes in the spring semester. And then in the summer, I took another 4 classes. But I came to a halt in the summer term because I was notified that by this time I would have to pass all sections of the general knowledge test. And I didn't. So I was studying, I was taking my classes, I was trying to pass my finals. And I took the general knowledge test again, my second time, and I still did not pass the English or the math. Okay, 1 more month left before the fall term, so your girl was going in hard. You know, I was like, I can't, this is gonna mess up my plan. I need to have this, like, I need all my degrees set. Like, I have a specific timeline when I'm gonna reach my goals. And so I took it again in July, and I passed the English this time, but I was still not able to pass the math. So, fast forward, it becomes August, and I'm trying to do everything I can to make sure I stay on track, to make sure that I am able to get back into my classes, to sign up for classes again for the fall term. And I get an email that you are blocked until you pass all sections of the general knowledge test. So that was a hard feeling. That was actually a moment in my life where I felt like a failure. I felt like I did everything wrong. I felt ashamed to tell my family members I wouldn't be going to school. I felt ashamed to tell my friends. It was a moment of shame, of doubt, of fear, of anxiety, and then I fell into depression. I was not able to pass the test by the fall term, and I went through the feelings of relief, okay, no more classes, I can rest a little bit, and then denial, and then finally it was like, whoa, I'm not going back to school. I can't go back to school. I can't finish this bachelor's degree, and I don't even have much classes left. And so I fell into depression really quickly. I was going to just from work to home. I felt like I had no purpose in life. I felt like God had given up on me, and He didn't call me, and I just didn't know who I was. And in that time, I was asking God, who am I? Who am I? What's my purpose? What am I here on this earth to do? You know, God, give me an answer. Why didn't I pass this test? Why didn't you help me? I found myself blaming God. I found myself angry with God. Like, God, you know I care about my education. You know that I want to better myself. So why didn't you just help me? And in that time, I found that I made an idol out of my education. I sinned before God because I put my education before Him. I put my future goals and my career before Him. Instead of sitting at His feet and waiting on Him And trusting in his perfect timing, I was trusting in my own man-made plans. And the Bible says, you know, in his word, I have plans for you. I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you, plans to give you hope and a future. And I didn't trust in God's word. You see, I was so busy trusting in the blessings in his hands that I didn't really actually trust him. I wanted more of what God had to give than God. And so in this journey, I found myself learning to love God for just who he is, not what he can give me, not for my education, not for my future career, not for a future husband. Learning to love God for who he is, because he's Alpha, he's Omega, he's the first and the last, he's the beginning and the end. He's awesome, he's amazing. And so God took me through a journey. It's going on 2 years now. And you know, I haven't been in school for almost 2 years now. And it's been a journey of finding myself in God, knowing my worth comes from God, knowing that I have to trust in his perfect timing, because the perfect man's steps are ordered by the Lord. Learning to love myself without adding things to myself to make myself feel better. So without going to school, I can love myself. Without knowing where I'm going in the next 2-3 months, I can love myself. I didn't have that while I was going to school, because everything was, okay, as much degrees I can get, as much certifications I can get, whatever I can add to myself, to whatever accessory to make me feel good about myself. And God had to say no. He had to intervene. So 2 years now, and you know, I found myself last year, towards the end of last year, God spoke to me and he said, you know, it's time. And also my pastor prophesied over me and said I would gain supernatural favor in my education. So this year, God has opened many doors and he has spoken to me. He's told me actually what I thought was my calling to teach was just a gift. My calling is to write. And so I changed my major and I ended up applying to Florida Atlantic University. And on April 19th, I was accepted and admitted to Florida Atlantic University. And so 2 years, a 2-year wait. And I wanted to share this with you because I want you to be encouraged. God's timing is perfect. I believe if I were to do it all over again and God took me through this whole journey of not being able to go to school for about 2 years, being delayed in my education because I had to learn to put him first, I would do it all over again. I have a better relationship with God. I spend more time in his presence. I read his word more. I'm finding myself surrendering to him in all areas of my life, especially knowing that I can't be in control of my life, that he knows the plans that he has for me. And so when I got this acceptance letter, I was amazed because God did speak it into my life, but there was a process. There was a waiting period. God wanted to give me the desire to go to school, but number one, I had to give him my whole heart. Number two, I had to stop finding my worth in worldly things and accessories. And number three, God is sovereign. Whatever he says, that's what we must do. We must get to that point of obedience. Obedience is better than sacrifice. And when we delay obedience, that's disobedience. And so whenever God says to move, we have to move. Whatever God says to do, we have to do. That is how we become better servants to him. That is how we gain his favor. And that is how we fight our battles. Obedience. Keeping God first. Telling him all of our plans. Making him number one in our hearts, in our souls, in our minds, everything. And so those are the things that I really had to learn. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. Sometimes do I still have a hard time? Yes, I do. But I'm looking forward to this journey. Now that God said, okay, delayed, not denied, you are now able to go to school. And he had to show me that, listen, this is the plan that I have for you, and it's bigger than what you imagine. It's greater than what you thought, because his ways are higher and his thoughts are higher. And so I just want to encourage you right now, wherever you are, whether it's your education, whether it's your career, maybe it's that part-time job, that full-time job, wherever you are, maybe your entrepreneur business, wherever you are, God has a plan for you. You have to surrender. You have to stop trying to do it within your own reach, your own hands. Trust his plan. Trust his timing. Let him do what only he can do. He can do the impossible. He's the one who opens the doors and closes the doors. So I want to encourage you to trust God, give it all to him. Know that he is with you, that he fights your battles. Know that even though you may be delayed, like my pastor said, delayed but not denied. So I just want to encourage you wherever you are. Be encouraged. Be blessed. Know that God has your back. Don't quit. Don't give up. I wanted to quit. I wanted to give up. I went into depression. My pastors, my leaders, they prayed for me. They spoke over me. And I want to tell you that you have to find that wise counsel. You have to find people who are going to lift you up, pray for you, encourage you. You need that in your journey. You need that in the season where God is saying, wait on me. You need that. And so trust God. Don't give up. Don't lose hope. Don't walk away. Don't throw in the towel because things are getting hard. Trust the process. Be glad that you're in the process. And that's all. So I hope you were encouraged through my journey and my education. I am definitely going to show you guys once I start my classes in school, give you a little bit of the journey. I'm so excited to be able to go back. I give God glory. All of the glory belongs to him. I thank every single person in my family, in my life, my church family, praying for me, loving on me unconditionally, blessing me, even buying me a devotional to help me during this time. And it's crazy because this devotional is about to be done in the 2 years timing that is up. So loving on me, praying for me. Thank you so much to every single person. I love you all. Bye. See you guys next time on A Moment with Monica. Subscribe, like, share, hit that bell so that you can see every time that I post. And see you guys next time.
They say picture perfect, filter, do your thing.